welcome to my YouTube channel.
Wait. This is my YouTube channel, not yours.
Whatever. Welcome to my husband's YouTube channel.
I like that.
Alright, my name is TheOyinbooke.
I like that.
I almost said Adeyemi because it's like Adeyemi is more, but anywho, the price was paid in full. So
I like that again.
TheOyinbooke. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking to my husband about my husband in tech. Wow!
Okay.
You're gonna know that this is a tech family. Alright, so welcome.
Thank you.
Now, should I call you our usual call?
You are my YouTube channel right here.
Alright, so Ola is with me in the studio and I'm going to be asking him a series of questions that relate to tech, his role in tech. And very quickly, Ola, I want to start by asking you, how do you find yourself in tech?
Well, good question, Taiwo. Of course. So I would say I came into tech, but I've always loved technology. Far back 2010, 2009, I was exposed to technology like computer in 2006-7. Just 3 months training. Since then, the curiosity was there. And while I was in university around 2011, I always look forward to doing so much with computer. Even though I study statistics, you find me mingling with the computer science students. I'm always in their midst, trying to listen to things that they do and lay my hands on system to do something similar. But I came into tech because I am in the data role, and for you to survive in this data field, you should know how to use the evolving technologies, different tools. So it's practically 2017 that I find myself fully into data role, and then I have to start learning every other things, including programming language that makes me find myself now in the tech space. Yeah, it is.
That was.
It is interesting for me, maybe boring for you.
But that was a very good summary of helping us to find yourself in tech. So, because I don't really want to waste time in this series, I'm just going to go forward ASAP. This year, 2021, has been quite eventful for you. I know we're together in this house. MVPK, that's Microsoft Most Valued Professional, Power Platform campaign, and a lot of other activities. They were training for companies and for startups. A lot. It was quite an event year. So I want to just know very quickly to our viewers, obviously, what did you plan all this? Last year was COVID year, and this is like in COVID year.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you manage to pull all this together? Was it planned? Was it pre-planned, or it just came suddenly?
Well, I would say part of the event that happened was also my marriage. Got married this year. So some were planned, some weren't. The planned ones were more or less things that I have figured out that in 2020 it's my year for them, like my home, my marriage. I never planned anything coming my way. And towards the end of last year, I planned teaching people more about what I know on the larger platform. And that was why on January 3rd, 2021, I started YouTube channel. In fact, it wasn't planned that it was January 1st, 2021 that I started and said I should start a YouTube channel. And I planned some topics. I released my first video January 3rd, 2021. So some things were planned, some weren't. The trainings that came, the opportunity for boot camp that I traveled to locally, I just came up and said, let's go out and do it. So some were planned, some were not.
Amazing, really awesome. And I like the fact that these dates you consistently put it somewhere, in your archives, because they are very important. As you make reference, as you journey along, you make reference to them so we can know how you got here.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so moving forward, I want you to help us understand how do you manage to remain focused in the midst of distractions, activities, work, family? We're still coming to the very crucial one, which is family. But how do you manage to remain focused in the midst of these several activities? Because I know that you do a lot of things at the same time, and I know at times you sleep at midnight, and at times you don't sleep. So I must understand.
So this is about myself. Now you are exposing me, right? You are exposing me. You think, I know. My God, the God as well.
Like, how do you remain focused?
Okay, speaking to focus, being focused, it comes at a cost. Because I do so many things does not mean I have the capacity to always be focused. There are times that I'm also distracted. I'm maybe not distracted, there are distractions because it does not align, or it's something that I start I won't finish, then there are distractions for me. For example, this year I started my MBA at Nestle. When I started in April, I had a vision, passion, I want to start. I started first week, second week, I was doing my assignment, connecting with people, but I realized that yes, I can continue like this, but I won't have time for the things that I've set on motion. The YouTube channel, the resources, I won't have time to recording. I couldn't record anything for about 3 weeks. Even at work, outside work, I just go back to the assignment to my MBA program. A lot of other things. I said to myself, do you truly want to do this? I asked myself, what's your why? And I consulted with some people. I realized my why is not strong enough. It's something I can always call, after, so that I don't disrupt the thing that I planned. So I let it go. So there are many other things like that. Some training that I started, I just realized, no, you have to abandon this because of certification. In 2020 rather, I did a whole lot of certification, about if not up to 11 certifications in 2020 alone. Yeah, but in 2021, I said to myself, I know there is time for everything. Okay, let me roll out some. I did about 4 or 5 certifications this year, but I was strategic with it, spread them because I want to have time for other things. So being focused, or even though I can do multiple things together, there are still a lot of things that comes as distraction, but I have to identify them and clear them up. No matter how valuable they seem to be, that it is not yet time, or I'll come back to them later.
Thanks so much for being very honest. People look at you from the outside and they feel like you are a jack of all trades and a master of all. It seems like there is nothing you start that you don't finish.
No.
It's like when you just take up a project, if it doesn't end before you, then the project is not meant to be accomplished. But thank you for also helping us to understand that despite the fact that you do so many things at the same time, you have to let some things go so that others can be prioritized. I would have let you go, but I can't leave you without asking you this final question because it is about me and it is about us. Hope you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay,
Holy Spirit. okay, no mind.
Alright, quickly, Ola. How is your wife coping with your tech life? Talk to Tyro.
This question should be answered by her. You are asking me a question about you. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you this. It's so fascinating to see how someone can so much master my heart and my life. She supports everything I do. As a matter of fact, she can take Power Platform fundamental training.
Hey!
Because she has been in repeated classes where I've been taking this training. She can almost repeat those words like the way I say them as well. I would say I have the Texas. Hey! Oh yeah! Texas!
We got to blush.
Permission granted. So she copes. In fact, sometimes I try to push her. We are be automating this as well. She will try, some she won't get it, but she's so open to those words, those knowledge, and sometimes she will come back to me and like, okay, a friend of mine was discussing. She mentioned Python, and the person was looking at her as if she was techie and geeky. She said she felt herself like, wow, I'm in the tech world. When she's back home, I let her know, now the advantage of being with me, staying around. I'm listening to you repeatedly to those tech things. Come on, guys. I can watch and watch something over and over again, and she's always there to, to push me more. You want to record, encourage me middle of the night, Yeah, she's been coping very well, and I mean 2022. Don't be surprised if you see her in the tech world.
Flying through the tech world. And as a disclaimer, I don't even have a background in tech at all. I mean, I am a guidance counselor, but over time, I've been able to read, and I've created several Microsoft forms. And when I listen to some conversations and people struggle to create some of these things, I'm like, yo, really? Really?
See, I'm doing the work very well. I'm doing this work very well.
So it's obvious, and you can see that this tech part of my husband rubs solely on me, and I have it to be thankful for.
So, Kinema
Alaye, this is an international standard.
Okay.
Alright, thank you so much, Ola. Any final words you'd like to share with us?
Well, maybe nothing final. It's just more or less a review of my 2021. One thing I found most interesting is that I'm now a comedian.
Ooh.
I did a show. Not a show. I did something. There was this Secret Santa at my office, and I was the host. And I had to put together 5 jokes under like 30 minutes, and I have to crack the jokes and make people laugh. It's not that easy. The situation in the country is making it difficult for people to laugh. As you can see, but I make people laugh. I still try to crack them up, and I mean, I love that. That's the feeling outside tech.
Alright, thanks guys.
So you can't even laugh with all this.
No, I laugh because it's natural, Laughing in me is innate, but then we will talk about that.
I will charge you
when we get to where we see. Thanks so much for your time, and thank you for having my husband, Ola.
Thanks for supporting
Microsoft for Artists. Bye for
Bye.
now.
Yeah, bye guys.